Hi all, welcome back. I'm Vishwanath. In today's video, we will be dealing with the Spring security. Before that, just to recap, we have developed a Spring Boot REST API application which was integrated with Lombok, HATEOAS, JPA, H2, Swagger, Hall, Actuators, validations, etc. for processing the user information. You can refer to the previous videos to know more about that. And also we have Dockerized it and we have hosted in Azure Get. And in this video, we will be dealing more on the security. So let's start it. Let's go to the app. And in order to start with the security, let's go to the pom.xml and add the dependencies. In order to add it, let's copy existing dependency, modify it and start security instead of web, mention that as a security, save it. As soon as we add it, the application will restart because we integrated with the Spring Starter DevTools, and we can see the uh, credentials. Uh, so this is the default credential that the Spring app generates. Let's log on to the browser. As soon as we key the 8080, we will see a login form which is generated by Spring, and the default name of the user is user, and the password is printed in the console. And we can see the application is we are able to access the application, and with the password being generated randomly, we will not be able to test it. In order to test it, we have to change the randomly generated password to specific one. Let's see how. Let's navigate to the application.properties and key the details. Let's try once again. 4040 with admin. Yeah, we are able to log into the app. So /1. Yeah, so we are able to see the app is working as desired. If you go back to the requirements, one of the requirements is that it's based on the roles. In order to create roles, what we can do is we can create in-memory database and we can create users along with the roles. Let's see how we can do that. Let's go to the the configuration. Yeah, I'm just saving it. Mm, Yeah, let's create a new class called as a security configuration. Security config. So let's add as a config annotation to it. Configuration annotation. So configuration annotation to it. And because we want to create the URLs uh, in a proper way, uh, so we will be also creating the usernames in memory database. So in memory database, uh, user details manager, in memory user details manager. This will help us to this is an interface. This will help us to create the details, and we have details manager where we will be saying as it will return a new instance of this, which will basically take uh, one user. And let's go back to the screen. They said like user and admin. So let's create those two variables. Create variable, create variable user. So in order to create a user, I'm using user class which comes with the which is in security module, Spring security. User with the username password with the username. I'm trying to say as Spring Springer as a username, and password, and password we can use no password, but it is not recommended for production applications, so let's use password encoders. uh, so let's create a bean. Let's use by big cryptic password encoder, where we'll say like password encoder, uh, and we will return the instance of this, return new instance of this. Let's call this as a bean, bean managed. So we have this bean, the instance of this password encoder. So password encoder is an interface, and we have implemented the instance of it with the bcrypt passcode encoder. So this one dot encode is a method where we are trying to share the password as secret is a password that I want to mention to here, where I'm also interested in setting the roles, and because it's an admin, I'll just set the role as an admin, and uh, I want to build this user. Likewise, I want to build one more user where I can say is Spring, and the role that he has is an admin. So have created two users in memory database uh, as part of the requirement, where it says like a user and admin, and now we have to um, do the authorization and authentication for the next part of the, for which we again required a bean, and we will be creating a method which is of uh, security filter chain interface, and so we can name this method to be anything. I'm just making it as a security filter chain, and this takes an argument as a http security, as an can argument can be anything, and throws exception. Um, so basically this has to return our http dot build method before we build it, because what we are interested is to uh, uh, because we are using like a get method, uh, not just the get method, we also have like a post method, other methods. So what we are trying to do is cross-site forgery attacks. We are disabling CRSF to be disabled, and only for APIs. And then what we are trying to say is all the requests should be authorized. For authorized requests, author, authorized authorized requests. So in for all these requests which are authorized, what we are mentioning is because the pattern that they have mentioned, the first one is the post request for this one. So I'm going to use an and matcher. So the first one is the post method, http method dot post, where my URL is going to be as users, and for this it allowed person is only admin, has role. So has role, I'm just trying to say as an admin. So as an admin. So yeah. So next one again, what I'm checking is it is a get method, both user and admin. So get method slash has role. Instead of has role, we are saying like has any role, uh, either user or admin and user. And next one, we are done with the post method, we are done with the get method. Then we have a modification part, which can be a put or delete, which will take only admin. So we need not mention the URLs. Uh, if we don't mention the URLs, it will take all, it will consider all the URL methods if we don't mention the method. Um, and we can also whitelist home initial URL, the default URL, where we can mention like everyone are permitted, permit all. We can also mention whitelist URLs like for example like H2 console, where we can mention like it should be permitted, or and we can also say like any other request, any request should be permitted. When I say any request, I am pointing to slash login page, logout page, slash error page. Those should be permitted. And and we can also include the headers, where we are just saying that inside the headers we can say like frame options to be disabled, and because it's a HTTP basic mechanism, that now we are using. I'm just saying like a HTTP basic. Optionally, we can say like uh, we can either go with the HTTP basic, or if we integrate with the OAuth client, we can just say like a OAuth login. Uh, so which I'll be commenting it for now, and because it's a basic one, I'll just mention it as a basic HTTP basic, and build. So we have created our security. Let's see how it works. Let's go to the browser. So let's go to the browser. Let's click on users. Let's make it as an incognito mode. Incognito mode. Localhost users. So earlier it has given a different login page. Now it has not mentioned a login page. Instead, it has become a pop-up. So the details that we have, we still have like these details, but I'll try giving these details first. So spinner secret. So it has not taken our details. Let me give the application details. It has not even considered this. The reason why it has not taken is we have not annotated the bean. So I'm just annotating that as a bean so that it will be used. So let's see if that works. Yeah. So now it's working as one. Yeah. Uh, now if I make it as new incognito mode as logout, logout users, and if I say like exit new incognito mode local, let me log in with the users. uh, Let me go to the Spring and security. Spring and secret. The password is so sign in. Now if I key one, so over here it has mentioned the same thing. User has not found. So let me use the REST API to perform this kind of testing. Let's uh, let's go for uh, the admin role first. Let's go to the API where we have our API testing. So in order to test with the details, all we have to pass is the username password over here. So I'm initially testing with the admin user so that I'm expecting all my cases to be successfully run. So let me reset my view. So we can see all the 5 cases has successfully run uh, with this, with the user password. User does not have an access, so I'm expecting a couple of test cases to be failed. So when it has run with the user, we can see that it has failed, and it was giving the proper error. 403 is the forbidden. Uh, User does not have an access to here. So this is 500. We'll come in a minute why it is 500. Instead of we are retrieving the result. So again, it is 403, which is the right error. 403. This is what we are expecting because we have not changed any code in the we have not changed any code. That is the reason like test cases are breaking. Ideally, we have to uh, run create the proper test cases. So the reason why it is throwing 500 is because of the exception handling that we have written. Uh, whenever the code has performed it, it goes to the app section handler, and whenever there is an error, then this method is invoked, which says like whichever the error we get back, which will be internal server error, which is again like 500. So all the test cases are working as desired. We will tweak the test cases and we will run all the packs once again. So let's change the code. We can say as super user, super user or admin. Right. Uh, so we can create one more and we can say with user, admin will have ER. So so our create method can will be successful for both admin and as well as will be failed for uh, user. So if we rewrite this case, what we are trying to say is for with user details. So we are not expecting anything as created. Instead, we are expecting he does not have an access. So the error that will be is a 404, 404 status codes 404. So so access should be forbidden, not 404. So it should be for 403 access issue. So what we are trying to say is this is going to be an 403 for this user. Uh, so likewise, we will be doing the rest of the things. So let's do the changes. Okay, okay. Let's run the test cases. Yeah. So all of this test cases has passed, where we have integrated and tested both with the REST user, uh, admin user role, and admin role, and as well as a user role, where we have used the existing method to tweak both the conditions. Generally, it is better we write a separate test cases for each scenario so that it will be very much clear. Thanks for watching. I'll meet you in the next video.